So the first thing to look at is review mining, because that's really the base of this, right? That's the first thing that gets done. This is where you get the initial insights that go into this chart. This is where a lot of the hard work is, and it's tedious, and it takes a little while, but we're going to take a look at it. So um, essentially, if you've ever looked at how a database is structured, there's lots of interesting things going on with how records are saved. And I forget the name for this concept, but essentially, like, you see how this is entered in here twice. Gave my dog diarrhea, it didn't help his breath at all. So this is possibly someone that just used too much of it, whatever it is, or the dog was allergic, something like that. But either way, forgetting about the content, this is entered in here twice. But the mined sections here are split out twice with different classifications and different concepts. So, this is the value of having a spreadsheet structured like this, and it's this was inspired by database design concepts, but essentially one review may have many snippets, many extracted pieces of copy that have different classifications of their own. This one happened to have 3. So my pug had this, and it looks like this one was categorized as 2 potentially different things here. I started adding to his water, so add to water, and now it freshens his breath, So this one snippet had 2 different things going on. It was added twice. They were classified differently. So you could start to see, like, each row does not represent one testimonial, and each piece of mined copy could have multiple classifications. So when you look at the unique entries in this database, first thing to look at is we have 100 entries exactly. So we're going to do a count unique on this. And we only have 25 reviews in here. So you can see that this very small sample of reviews yielded a lot of different entries that were extracted in multiple ways. So yeah, that's another thing. Like, if you're finding the data doesn't seem to make sense after you've been doing this a bit, maybe bump it up to 50 reviews, get a lot more entries in here, whatever it is. But usually like 100 entries is pretty good. It's a good place to start. You'll get a lot of information, you'll learn a lot of stuff. But to have only 25 reviews, you may think about it and say, well, we only got 25 unique people's perspectives, we need more. So that's how this whole thing is set up. It's really interesting. And then again, there's all these other fields in here to help quality check stuff. So sentiment, basically, and we'll go into this later in quality assurance, but sentiment says whether or not they're saying the thing is good or bad. So these 2, the reviews were bad, didn't help his teeth, was not good. I don't know, this one has a lot of stuff that says something about humans shouldn't drink it. So I don't know what the deal is with this product. Seems like there's mixed reviews on it, but anyway, that's something interesting to understand, that some people could just be using the products wrong. So anyway, yeah, a lot of stuff in here. Like, these are double 2 different things. Let's see if there's any other ones. So same thing here. Helped with his bad breath. So they put it in here twice. So it's pretty interesting. I mean, again, the whole idea is that this isn't intended to be perfect. Someone's going to have to analyze and interpret this when they're making an ad. It's just a starting point. You saw when I made the ads in the last section, I was just kind of skimming through this stuff, collecting information, and on average, each one took about 15 minutes instead of taking me multiple hours sitting there with writer's block, trying to figure out essentially what to do. So a lot of this is really going to do the hard work for you. But anyway, just focusing on the review mining. So we put the review stars here too, just so we can see, because sometimes 4 and 3 star reviews are good. So just a good way to help manage the team doing this if you end up building a team around this or need to quality check the work. The brands in here, so we could see which brands had the most amount of reviews pulled out, or if we only want to filter on our primary brand and just look at that information, we can make a pivot table. The location, a lot of these are Amazon. Sometimes for stores that don't have any Amazon competitors, you have to use their website or get creative and find other review sites that might have information. We've had to do this in the past. And yeah, the topics. So the idea is like these yellow sections here match the yellow sections over here pretty much. And this is where you're entering the data. So the topics, the brand, the location type. Okay, so maybe those don't match perfectly, but the location, the topics, the brand, all the stuff. So you're basically filling the information in here, and it is going to populate in these drop down boxes as you add them. So just to show you, put a location, click a drop down, and there it is. We'll delete it, it's gone. So these are interactive. It's just a really, like, spreadsheets are a great way to put a user interface into a, just that's very simple. You don't have to do any web development. It just works. So this is a really, really easy way to have a framework that works in this spreadsheet. And then the other thing that's cool is depending on your answers, based on how the subcategories were mapped out earlier in the course and explained with all the instructions and descriptions. That's also, again, right here. The subcategories map to their parent category. So product characteristics are features, ingredients, process towards pleasure, goals and values, away from pain points, challenges, failures. Those all map. And that's all done here. So that way, when we look at the data, we have a broad classification, a more specific one, and then more specific. So high level, we can get some good insights. But again, all this starts here. So the idea is one review that's rather large may give you multiple entries. One piece of mind copy may have multiple meanings, and you just fill them out as best you can. Look at the data after. Later on, we'll go over ways to QA this data, and we'll stick with this dog breath one for the rest of this course to go through it. And I'll see you in the next one.